Hey angels, welcome to Your Own University TV, where we talk about what sets you apart from everybody else in the world, because you matter. On today's episode, we're going to talk about ghosting. Ghosting is something that hurts relationships. It tears people apart. It really breaks hearts and instills a low vibration of shame and guilt. So if you've been ghosted, this is for you. And if you accidentally ghost, because sometimes we do it and we don't even know it, this is for you. Alright angels, this is another one of those subjects that's just like, but it is ingrained in every single relationship. And ghosting or ignoring or cutting somebody off from a conversation, whether it's in your household or it's a friendship, causes rifts in friendships. It causes insecurity in people. It breaks hearts. And it's a way that people control a relationship that truly is demoralizing to the parties involved. For me, I just want to share a bit of a story about this, and maybe you can relate to it. And my intention in sharing is so you can recognize what ghosting is. So ghosting is when two parties are in a relationship and one of the people in the relationship decides to give a silent treatment. Decides that for some reason, maybe it's because they need space, because they are upset with the other person, because they are just pissed off at the world, whatever the reason, they decide that they are going to pull away from the relationship. And instead of having an adult conversation about what's happening, they just break ties pretty much immediately. So you might go from talking every day or even living together and like making a meal to all of a sudden, boom, ghosting, like not talking to. Now this is really talked a lot about in the dating world. They're like, oh, they ghosted me. Meaning you were talking to somebody and all of a sudden they just disappear. But it happens in our households too. It happens with our friendships too. And when it happens, it causes heartbreak. It causes pain. It causes a rift of distrust. And so if you've been ghosted, this is a big deal. If you are a ghoster, this is a big deal because you might not realize that the selfish act of ghosting is actually breaking hearts, hurting people, and making them question their own sanity. It is a narcissistic tactic to make somebody feel less than, make them question if they've been a bad person or done something wrong because the ghoster doesn't ever tell them what happened. So this is the deal. Each time that these people ghosted me, I made myself wrong. Internally, I would create this story that would be self-deprecating to myself. Now I no longer do this because I realized that that's their deal. And I realized that, oh wow, I attracted somebody else that's gonna ghost me. I don't wanna live with that, right? Who wants to live with that? Who wants to be ignored? No, we wanna say, hey, this is what is happening and this is how I feel, and have that open communication in a positive relationship. So I'm going to tell you a couple things that you can do about ghosting. One, if you are in a relationship where you feel like you need to ghost somebody, you just want out, just tell them that. You know, this isn't working for me right now. I'm just not feeling it anymore. Thanks for your friendship, but goodbye. Right? It's really that simple. If there's a specific thing that you feel will benefit the person for saying goodbye, you can say, hey, when you did this, it made me feel like this, and I'm not going to tolerate that anymore. This is a form of nonviolent communication, and you can YouTube it. There's great teachers on it, and I'm sure one day I'll make my own video on it. But you say, you did this, it makes me feel like this, and therefore I am backing out of this relationship. Thank you so much. I wish you the best of luck. Goodbye. This is cutting the ties. This is cleaning the slate. right? This is also speaking your mind, owning your truth, and they can mull that over. Is that true for them or wasn't it true for them? Did they mean it that way? Did they not mean it that way? Was there a misunderstanding? And you might actually save the relationship, and you both might learn from this open communication. So if you're a ghoster, please, 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 please cut those ties. Don't string people along by just telling them goodbye or telling them why you're leaving and allowing them the opportunity to learn something from the loss of the relationship. If you're in a relationship and you're living in the house with somebody, you can take that time out. So the difference between ghosting and a silent treatment and taking a break is when there's silent treatment and ghosting, you say, nothing. You just quit talking to the person. There's nothing on the table. There's no end to it. It can go on forever. Ghosting is like, I'm not speaking to you, and it might be forever. It might be a week. It might be never, right? It's just like, ghosting is just like you don't know. There's this endless, vast hole of not knowing. Where if you're in a relationship, you say, I need to be quiet, I need this time, I need to figure out what's going on in my own head, whatever it is, and I would like to come back together in 24 hours. I'd like to come back together at 4 p.m. I'd like to come back together at, in a month and have coffee again, whatever that looks like to you. But you set a time where you're actually going to address whatever is coming up in the relationship that you need to get clarity on. And so the other person involved doesn't feel ignored or ghosted. They know exactly, we're taking a break and we'll come back and bring this back to the table here. It's important. Our relationship is important. That's two ways. So the next thing about ghosting it's a real controlling, manipulative behavior. And the person that's doing the ghosting wants the other person to feel bad as if they did something. And this is where it becomes a narcissistic trait, where they just shut you out and they shut you down and they're like, ugh. And if you've been doing this, you might look into Codependence No More. Is a great book. But you might look into those boundaries. For me, this pattern rolls in my life, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there I did it again. And this person has done this again, and this is my pattern because I have been tolerating it. And that's what sets you apart from being a codependent and taking on that shame and guilt. What did I do? How can I make it better? And chasing after the person that's ghosting you, trying to seek answers, seek that conclusion, that time that you're gonna have it out, right? And you chase after them. Instead, you can just say, there's the pattern. Is this relationship worth running after them again? How long has this pattern and this person done it? Has this person ever acknowledged the pattern? If no, I would just chalk it up to, they're probably not gonna learn. And instead of beating yourself up, trying to figure out what you did wrong, trying to feel guilty, feeling the heartbreak, because sometimes you don't even go, you didn't do anything wrong, but you feel a heartbreak. Instead of all of this, I just welcome you to say, I no longer want to tolerate this. I no longer can tolerate this in this relationship. You ghosting me and not giving me a definite time of when we're gonna come back together is no longer okay with me. I love you, goodbye. And what you do with that is you take the delete button and you just delete, 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 delete. You exit that person out of your life and you allow the freedom of something new, something more fulfilling to come into your life because you deserve it. And so if you are being ghosted by anybody, whether it's a spouse in the house, try to put in that boundary of nonviolent communication. And if they will not speak to you, they won't give you a time where they're gonna come back to the table and actually deal with the feelings on hand, then ask yourself, is this worth tolerating? Do I wanna live this way? And really get clear, are you doing something? Did you do something wrong that you should feel guilty about? Is it true guilt? Because sometimes we fuck up, right? Did you do something wrong? If not, let it go. let it go. Don't wear the badge of shame around. Don't feel bad for their bad behavior of not being able to face up and actually have a relationship where they want to solve problems. There's a difference between needing space and completely not responding to somebody, not like going from one extreme of interaction to another stream of interaction. There's a difference. And that heartbreak is not yours to hold on to. It's not yours. It's their heartbreak. Let them have it and choose if it's something that you want to tolerate or not. I hope that this helps you, give you some ideas about what to do if you are a ghoster, not wanting to ghost anymore, how you can go in and take responsibility and put that definite in and help people in your life know that you really are needing space, that you really are just figuring things out in your head, that you really are, and this is when you're gonna come back. And it's not about them, this is when you're gonna come back because you don't wanna hurt them. Or if you are being ghosted, ask yourself, is this someplace that I want to tolerate? Is this something that I need to tolerate in my life? And if not, it is time to remove those people that are abusing you and your love out of your life. I hope this helps you at your own university. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our page so you don't miss an episode. Share this with your friends and family all over social media. We really, truly appreciate it. And if you would like 365 Days of Love, go to yourownuniversity.com and register on our homepage with your first name, your last name, and your email. That's all we need. And we will send you days of love and inspiration and invites into our master classes that we have there at Your Own University for only $22 a month. We love you so much. Thank you for watching.